I'm not expecting sanctions at this stage. We haven't had any technical issues related to our wine exports, so we're hoping for the best, and we don't see any cause for alarm at this stage, though things can change very rapidly, as you know.
Does that mean it couldn't still come?
Oh, look, there's always a possibility that something could arise. We've told all our exporters to make sure that all their certification and labelling requirements are right spot on, so that there's no element of doubt when we get our exports onto the market.
You've been here before, Tony, a couple of years ago. What did you learn from that? How much of a shock was that?
Yeah, in 2018, we had some problems at the border of China. China's obviously our biggest market with about $1 billion worth of exports. So it was very serious at the time. So it was about a 3-month disruption, and it caused a lot of nervousness amongst the industry.
How nervous were you a couple of weeks ago when you had those threats from China's ambassador to Australia who threatened against buying our beef, and he also included threats against buying our wine? How did you react to that at the time? You know, did that make you edgy?
Oh, yeah, it certainly does. I mean, we never like to hear wine being mentioned in the terms of any potential trade disruption. So, of course, it made us nervous, but we do have a very good relationship with China on our commercial basis, and we also have a very big economic input into China, so that we've got the distribution and retail sectors are very much Chinese owned. So there's an economic interest to keep our exports flowing.
Have you sought assurances from the government, Tony, to make sure that doesn't happen?
We talk to the government all the time. The government knows very aware how important this industry to us, and we work very closely with him, both on working with the Chinese government and the industry, and also, I guess, to make sure that our product meets the specifications for export.
Okay. Well, aside from that at the moment, what are your biggest concerns?
I guess one of the big concerns that we have is not so much the export. It's held up pretty well through COVID-19. We're really concerned about our smaller producers domestically. In a lot of cases, JobKeeper and JobSeeker haven't been enough to keep their cash flow going. So they're really struggling at the moment. So we're really trying to hopefully we can get people back into the regions and back to the cellar doors, so that we can kickstart the domestic economy.
Well, okay, well, just on that, the New South Wales government has announced intrastate travel today for anyone in New South Wales and from other states if they want to get here. How much of a bonus could that be for those cellar doors that you're talking about?
Look, it's great, but the problem we have is that we're still not sure with cellar doors if they can open, how they're treated. We also know that allowing 10 people into a cellar door is not going to be enough to make it viable and worthwhile opening. So we're really nervous that you'll relax interstate and intrastate restrictions, but then there'll be nothing for the tourists to do. So I think we've got to think very carefully about how we open up those venues, be they restaurants or be they cellar doors, so that we can actually give the tourists an experience.
How much of a hit has it had with stock levels at the moment, Tony, if at all, around Australia? I mean, I guess people are still at home drinking.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good if you go through the big retailers and if you go through liquor stores. So actual sales there went up, but not enough to compensate for on-premise, so restaurants and cellar doors. So we've had a decrease in sales overall, but not as much as it could have been. But if you're reliant on those cellar doors or direct to restaurants, then you're in big trouble because you've got no other route to market.
Do you have fears that there could be some vineyards or wineries that may well go under?
I do. I mean, the longer this goes, the more difficult it makes for those smaller family companies. The bigger companies will do all right because they've got those routes to market. But I'm very concerned about some of those smaller operations. And we could, some of them are struggling. They really are struggling for cash flow.
How much time might they have left?
I think if we don't see a big improvement in the next couple of months, then some of them will be in serious trouble.